Tonight on the news at 10, Northport's mayor wants to set the record straight when it comes to his city and Alabama's immigration law. Plus, we'll take you to the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater to hear 3 Doors Down.
You're watching Alabama's WVUA News at 10 with your award-winning news team, Claire Huddleston, weather with Richard Scott, and sports with Gary Harris.
Thanks for joining us tonight. A federal appeals court has issued 2 temporary rulings regarding Alabama's new immigration law. The 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals blocked the law requiring schools to check immigration status of students. But the court is allowing police to detain immigrants who are suspected of being in the country illegally. The ruling came after the Justice Department challenged the law. State officials say the immigration law is necessary to protect the jobs of legal residents. Opponents say the law could lead to discrimination. A final decision will be made later. Alabama's immigration law is considered to be one of the toughest in the nation. On the heels of Alabama's new immigration law, Northport Mayor Bobby Herndon wants to set the record straight about his city's enforcement of the law. WVUA's Daniel Sparkman has more.
Northport has residents of many different ethnicities, and city leaders want to make sure everyone is following the state's new immigration law.
The immigration bill has good parts to it. It has bad parts to it, you know. But Northport so far has no part in it.
Mayor Bobby Herndon says some city departments will see changes because of the new law, but other offices won't.
Our police department is currently going through training, as is, I think, almost all law enforcement agencies across the state. But administrative offices, our public works department, our water department, are asking me to get Governor Bentley to send somebody to address some issues.
One reason Herndon says issues need to be addressed is because of a mention of Northport in an Associated Press story out of Atlanta. The story cites advocacy groups who say some Northport residents are receiving notices that their water service could be cut off. Herndon says that's not true.
Don't know where the AP got that, but our water department has never sent out a notice like that. I want to set the record straight, and if the AP wants to call me up and give me the names of the advocacy groups that relayed that message to them, I'd love to talk to them.
In Northport, Daniel Sparkman, WVUA News.
Herndon says if you have any concerns about what the city is doing, he wants you to contact him directly. Time for a first look at Alabama's home team forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Hey, Richard.
Hey, Claire. Getting kind of cool on this Friday night after a warm afternoon. Temperatures back in the 80s today. Yeah, we're in the 50s now. 56 degrees Tuscaloosa. We're at 57 in Demopolis. Low 50s to mid 50s to the north of Birmingham. 54 Coleman. 55 over in Haleyville. And how about the weekend forecast? Saturday and Sunday. Plenty of sun both days. And it's going to be one of those deals. It's warm during the day, cool at night. Low 80s on Saturday and Sunday. But how about the rest of the forecast? There are some storms ahead. Home team weather is coming up.
University of Alabama students have found a unique way to honor Tuscaloosa after April storms. Tonight, the UA Opera Theater dedicated its fall program to pay respect to the April 27th tragedy. The performance is called Rebuild the House, the Promise of Moving Forward. The show includes the world premiere of Look Upon These Faces, composed by Amir Zahari, who lost his home during the storm. The director of Opera Theater, Paul Halteling, explains how art can help a community heal.
Without art, there is no healing. And if you look at the history of music and poetry and dance and theater throughout Western civilization, so much of it is a reaction to tragedy, a reaction to war, to death, to strife, to storms, to events in people's lives. Art only exists because it's created out of emotion by people who need to express something.
The piece was really a chance for me to respond. I needed to respond, and I wasn't really sure how to do that. Not long after the tornado, I asked Paul, as the resident composer, if it would be okay if I could respond musically. And he said yes, absolutely.
The opening performance was tonight, and the next show will be Sunday at 3. That's music from the band 3 Doors Down. They're playing at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater tonight. Three Doors Down rose to national fame in 2000 with its first single, Kryptonite. The group is originally from Mississippi, but they credit Foley, Alabama for giving them their name. The three-member group was walking by a building and saw a sign that read Doors Down. That's how Three Doors Down came to evolve. The group has sold over 16 million albums worldwide. It's going to be a jam-packed weekend at the Amphitheater. On Sunday, Lynyrd Skynyrd and ZZ Top will take the stage at 6:30. Lynyrd Skynyrd is famous for their hit songs Sweet Home Alabama and Freebird. Tragedy hit the band in 1977 when 3 members and 1 road crew member died in a plane crash. The band reformed in 1987 for a reunion tour. Of its original members, only Gary Rosington remains with the band. Lynyrd Skynyrd is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Kentuck Museum on Main Avenue in Northport is getting ready for a big art festival. Tomorrow marks the Kentuck Festival's 40th anniversary. More than 250 artists will bring their arts, crafts, and music. In 2010, around 12,000 people packed downtown Northport. Officials say the festival generated nearly $400,000 of revenue into the area. Executive Director Jan Pruitt says they're keeping true to their roots for this year's anniversary celebration.
One of the things that's important for any organization or person is you make sure that what got you where you are doesn't get lost or doesn't get forgotten. We began as a heritage festival. We still have demonstrating artists demonstrating various folk ways of doing things, caning chairs, making baskets. But we also have a focus on visionary and outsider art.
Here's a look at the festival details. It kicks off tomorrow and runs through Sunday, 9 to 5 each day. Daily tickets are $10 a day. A 2-day pass is $15. Children under 12 are free. Each year, about 9 million Americans have their identity stolen. That's according to the Federal Trade Commission. If you're looking for a way to safely dispose of personal documents, this weekend is your chance. WVUA is a partner in ShredFest. Watchdog Document Services will be at Tuscaloosa Chevrolet tomorrow from 8 until noon. They'll shred documents with your personal information for free. You never know what a day is going to bring. A drive along an Ohio road turned into a 3-hour rescue mission involving a frightened driver, a mechanic, and a cat. Jerry Revish explains.
She's still right there. I'm not sure she can turn around.
The she is a cat stuck in the dashboard of this minivan.
There you go. Her head's, she's got a leg towards us.
I can see her. I see her leg.
Nahal Dhruv hit the cat that ran in front of her van on Leap Road in Hilliard. She pulled over to see if the kitty was all right.
Instead of staying in her seat, she went down and went up the dashboard.
Nahal took her emergency to the Capital Area Humane Society. The staff called in a mechanic to take apart the dashboard and attempt a rescue. But Daryl McKay's hands proved too big to grab the furry fugitive.
Oh, we're getting there.
An animal control staffer decided to give it a try.
Tara.
After putting her body and hands through incredible contortions in extremely cramped space,
We got her out.
vets took the cat inside to check her out. Just a little shell-shocked, that's all. Together is an
We apologize for those audio technical difficulties, but if you're wondering, he's going to pick up the cost of taking apart that dashboard and putting it back together. The mechanic donated his services at no charge. We also want to mention that the cat is okay and that the family is talking it over to see if they can adopt the cat. And going back to the mechanic, he got a few scrapes and cuts on his hands wrestling with all that plastic and metal. 2 little girls have captured the hearts of over 9 million Americans. Hear how Sophia Grace Brownlee and her cousin Rosie have become household names in just a matter of days.
Is that your favorite singer, Nicki?